This is the latest generation Lexus IS Hybrid F Sport. Just launched earlier this year, but we decided to join up with a 2014 model IS 350 and over there a 2008 model IS 250, just to show you three generations of the Lexus IS range. Look at them lined up over here. You can see the changes, and I mean, just that gaping grille on the latest one says it all. This is a 2008 model Lexus IS 250. Look at the grille. It was really state-of-the-art modern at that time. You can see the cascading grille, the wide grille up below over there, the very low front spoiler. You've got the neat lights over here. State-of-the-art, as I said, for 2008. And when you look inside the car, you'll see lots of features. It had the full touchscreen facility, including navigation, the pretty modern interior, all you can see in black leather. And besides being a touch dirty, I would say this car with 142,000 kilometers on the clock, such a low miler for the age, looks pretty good for its age, doesn't it? And considering it was the first IS powered by a 2.5 litre V6 engine. But that's not the end of the story. Then things moved on a little bit, because we joined now by a 2014 model. Look at the difference on the front grille. You notice how the grille gets bigger. There's the bigger section underneath. You come around over here. This particular one, of course, has now, you can see halogen headlights, daytime running lights suddenly appear under the headlights. Little changes like that appeared. Now this one's an IS 350. It was the big daddy of the range at the time, which meant it suddenly upgraded to a 3.5 litre V6 engine. But that's not really a big change. But now look at the interior again. You'll notice, for example, okay, different color seats. Really doesn't make a big difference. But look how the screen moved. The infotainment screen in the center suddenly moved up and into the dash. You've still got the mouse pad over there, a little bit different, so you don't have the big scroller, but generally other than that, it's pretty similar as well. And the size of the car, interestingly, has barely changed. So shall we call this the middle child of the family? And so we encounter the baby of the family. This is the latest model, launched earlier this year. Oh my gosh, look how the mouth has grown. Yes, look at the grille. Suddenly it's one piece, you can call it. Much bigger, much wider, with the number plate splitting it. You come across over here, you've got these similar shaped daytime running lights, but now they're above the LED headlights. Very different as well. I must tell you, this is the F Sport model, which means it does have the extra little spoiler gills over here, these gills over there. It does have a lot of items like that on it. Beautiful 19-inch mag wheels over there. You just have to look at them and you can see. F Sport over there, a little bit of a body kit across the bottom as well, just to make it look like it's hunkered down a lot more on the ground. You've got all those features, but look here, because look at that. There comes the legend. Because the new range that was launched earlier this year, as I said, is only hybrid. Lexus very much into hybrids, and there are only hybrid models available of this new range. You come around to the back, you'll see again the blacked out lighting treatment over here. Look at that, the black rear bumper. These are all F Sport special items. Spoiler on the back as well. Pop open to a very good size boot over here, 450 plus liters of boot space, and you can even drop the rear seats if you particularly want to. So you've got all of that as well, but it's all run right through the three generations, shall we call it, and it's called the IS 300H, but that's not quite the truth. We'll talk about that when we jump inside. One of the features, of course, of a lot of the Lexus models, but I really like, is what they call the comfort seating. Watch this. All I do is clip my seatbelt and, hey, presto, it moves me back to my seating position. Built for, should I call them, fat cats who need easier access in and out of the car. But it's just a nice little tweak, as I call it. And you know me, I love my toys. So let's have a look now, of course. Now, I press. Note, it doesn't say stop start. It says power. I love that. You press that button and the car turns on, and it says it's in EV mode. And you can see all these fancy pictures coming up on the screen, of course, and things like that. You get all of that. But now let's just look, of course, at the legends for you quickly. Because you know me, I want to show you figures. Yes, that is true. Look at that. I have done 561 kilometers on this test at 5.8 liters per 100. 5.8. I did a freeway cruise, and I can tell you I got it down to 5.5 for a while. Now, let me tell you, this car is powered by a 2.5 liter four-cylinder petrol engine with hybrid assistance. So what does that give you? It gives you 164 kilowatts and 221 newton meters of torque. It's got oomph if you want it. But you know what? I like this car as a cruiser, and I like to treat it as a cruiser. But now you've got the steering wheel. It's an F-Sport steering wheel. It says so over there, just in case you want to know. Interestingly, it's got a CVT type variable gearbox, which means I'm sure you cringed when I said CVT, but it is so smooth, so comfortable, and if you really want, you got flappy pedals just to play with as well, or to override, shall we say. So you've got all of that, but with the hybrid, it works so beautifully. F-Sport, now let me tell you a couple of the things F-Sport gives you that you don't get on the slightly cheaper two models that are available in the range. You get active cruise control, which means, and it's on a stalk over here under the wheel, you won't see it too clearly, but it is there. It means that it will govern the speed to the car in front. You set it at 120, but if there's a car in front that's slower, it will automatically slow down. If the car speeds up, it speeds up. Beautiful active cruise control, I really love. So it's got that. It's also got, now these are F-Sport features, memory on the seats, on the electric seats, both driver and passenger. Again, and what the F-Sport has is adaptable variable suspension, which means nicely controlled suspension, adapts when you, of course, use the modes, the multi-mode transmission over here. Eco, normal, Sport, and Sport Plus. Sport Plus, again, reserved for F-Sport versions. But I must tell you, I never even touched that button during this test. I drove it in normal because I found it much easier. You can press a button for EV mode, for snow, just for example, if you do need them. They're nice. You've got your lovely big 10-inch touch screen over there, which of course gives you a full spectrum, including, you can see across there everything you can get for it, full navigation, etc. But I'm going to complain. Coming back down to the center over here, just below the gear lever, this touchpad mouse system is still extremely clumsy. It's still really, to key in for a destination on the navigation, I found a pain of note. But that's me. Let's not go there any further. You do also have seat warming and cooling for the front seats included as well. Brilliant dual zone climate control system. Your USBs are in this armrest underneath over here. Bit of a nuisance. And something else I did notice. There's actually not really a place to put your cell phone. The only place I could think of was in the cup holders, or otherwise hidden inside there where the USBs are. But not ideal. So many other cars these days would have a space over here for your cell phone. Just one of those things I like to pick out. The other thing is, interestingly, that changing from the previous two generations we looked at, I'm not sure why the screen has suddenly moved on top of the dashboard. On the first generation, you saw it was down here. On the middle generation, it was kind of in the center, but still part of the dashboard. Now it sits almost as if it's been stuck on top as an afterthought. Bit strange, but anyway. Beautiful leather trim on top of the dash, all softish touch stitching. This is the Lexus quality for you. And talking Lexus quality, of course, you have to notice the analog clock in the center over there. Of course, F-Sport gives you the sport seats, and notice the two-tone upholstery in black and white. Whether the white is practical with kids, I don't know, but that's how it comes. It certainly looks the part. Well, you're going to say to me, prices, of course. The cheapest version, As I said, all powered by the same engine and gearbox. 840,000 Rand. You go up to 920 for the F Sport version as we're in right now. I've mentioned the differences, the extras you get. Definitely worth it. There is a middle model which leaves out one or two things but does give you a sunroof, which this one doesn't offer. Well, interesting choices you can make. And that comes in at 900 exactly. Don't forget, of course, Lexus also give you a 7-year, 105,000 kilometer maintenance plan. That's one of the longer maintenance plans you're going to find. Overall, you've seen the progression of 3 generations of the IS. I think that was pretty interesting. And I can tell you, I've experienced them, I know what they're like, and certainly the quality has remained. And that's important to note, that the quality has remained consistent throughout. 920,000 Rand for this car. It's a lot of car for the money if you think of all the extras you're getting. And of course, they're not optional. They are standard and included in the price. Don't ever forget that. It's in a certain category. The hybrid, of course, is fairly unique. And the hybrid proves the efficiency of the engine at that 5.8 liters per 100 from a medium-sized luxury sedan. But overall, the choice is always yours. But if you're in this kind of market, you overlook this one at your peril. Check it out. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor, and I'll see you next time.